Amazing Spider-Man issue number 32, written by Zeb Wells and art by Patrick Gleason. In the last issue, it was revealed Queen Goblin was back in action. She had to engage Kraven in a fight, then they did the Devil's Tango for some reason. But here's the twist. Kraven's got an itch for a fresh challenge, a new hunt, and Queen Goblin's got just the prey in mind. Our story kicks off with Kraven diving into a ritual to cleanse Queen Goblin of the sins she's been carrying from Norman Osborn all the way from the Beyond era of Spider-Man. As they capture the Queen Goblin, notices that she doesn't really feel any different, but hey, maybe those sins haven't quite found a way back to Osborn quite yet. Now let's swing over to Peter Parker, who's getting a call from none other than Norman Osborn while he's en route to meet up with another pal. Norman's burning the midnight oil, and Peter's pondering about joining him while he's at work in his lab. You know, classic friend vibes, mixed with a dash of concern about the whole Green Goblin transformation. Just as they're still conversing, Peter actually gets a call from Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, and it turns out she's checking in on Peter's post-breakup mood and literally asking about his blues. Felicia is as straightforward as they come. And then the $1,000,000 question, where's Peter heading? And he spills the beans that he's meeting up with Janice's lawyer friend Michelle from the previous issue. Felicia's attack her is even questioning if it's a secret date. Peter sets the record straight, explaining that they're just swapping notes about Randy and Janice and the lack of communication. Because if you don't remember, those two did not get married in the wedding issue. Felicia's got her own reasons for being suspicious, and it's because Michelle is smoking hot, as she says. To all you Felicia fans out there, it seems like she still got some feelings for Peter. Oh my gosh, is this gonna be a love triangle? Thankfully, we don't get that answer, and fast forward to the restaurant scene where Peter finally connects with Janice's lawyer friend Michelle. After they both get situated, it just turns into a full-blown argument. They're both that deep in the aftermath of Robbie ditching Janice at the altar, and let me tell you, they start clashing it out, just hashing it out. Oh, and Peter learns that Michelle is Tombstone's lawyer too. Can't say he's thrilled about that. Personally, I'm not really invested in Robbie and Janice drama or Michelle's character development or lack thereof. Who cares about this? Now let's check in with Kraven and Queen Goblin. Kraven's contemplating his life as he gazes at his father's casket. Quick reminder that this is Kraven's son, Sergei Kravinoff's offspring and not the original one, Sergei Kravinoff himself. And Queen Goblin's whispering in his ear, poking fun at his father's legacy and the whole Kraven's Last Hunt saga. And she's got a wild proposition for Kraven. Instead of burying Spider-Man, taking his place, and beating up a villain like Vermin, a villain that I swear that nobody remembers, how about killing and hunting down Norman Osborn this time? Spider-Man's deadliest villain, I guess. I would argue that he's not, but hey. Also, Queen Goblin wants Norman to still reclaim his sins, so she wants Norman to reclaim his sins, then die. She says that in that order, and that's kind of an odd request at this point still. Anyway, we pick up back at Asgard. Peter's checking in with Norman, and their interaction is kind of weird. Norman's picked up on Peter's supported effort, but he's got some advice. Ease off a bit. Norman's convinced that Peter's constant check-ins are fueled by the fear that Green Goblin might resurface. Peter sets the record straight, revealing that he values their bond and cherishes the moment of when Norman treated him like a son. On a side note, I'm kind of missing Peter's other pals like Ned or Flash in this series. Zeb Wells might be leaning too much into Peter and Norman's dynamic. Just as things are getting cozy, Lauren shakes things up, and the two suit up just in case trouble's afoot. But Kraven's been busy wrecking Norman's Goblin suit and basically confronts him and says that Norman's suit has dulled his senses and made him weak. And it's just classic Kraven stuff. He even taunts Norman with Spear, claiming that Spider-Man's no longer necessary and doesn't need to be here. And Norman locks himself away with Kraven, ensuring Spider-Man doesn't inadvertently become a pincushion for the Sin Spear. That's when a fight erupts and Norman fights tooth and nail to keep the sins away from him. But here comes Spider-Man, crashing through the scene to save the day, just as always. Literally, he crashes through the wall. And just in the nick of time, Peter takes the hit meant for Norman, absorbing all the sins. Now, Kraven's got an introspective moment, realizing that the tables have turned with Spider-Man's resurgence. He's no longer the ultimate predator, and Spider-Man's rebirth marks Kraven's new role as the Hunted. And let me tell you, the final page is a masterpiece thanks to Patrick Gleason's artwork. A sin-covered Peter unmasked and laughing. It's an image to remember. And that's a wrap to the story, actually. So, what's the verdict? The dialogue falls a bit flat, lacking the emotional punch. The plot's a tad predictable, and some scenes could have easily been edited out or just cut completely. The whole restaurant scene, a bit unnecessary. I'm not thrilled about the potential for yet another Spider-Man love interest, especially so soon after Felicia. It feels like Peter's love life or romantic life is just another. It never ends. I'm just so bored about it, to be honest. I'm kind of hoping that Peter doesn't enter into another relationship. I was kind of uninterested when Marvel paired him up with Felicia again. I knew that relationship would not last and they wouldn't do anything interesting with it. I mean, I know that Felicia has like advanced as a character, but like, what else is there to do with her and Peter? And I was right, actually. They didn't do anything interesting with her. Well, that's just my 2 cents about all this, and with that, I'll wrap up this review. Thanks for tuning in and catch you on the flip side in the next video.